is this the end of Xbox as we know it? Now, that's kind of vague. Some people might say this is clickbait, but I don't know. You don't know. We won't know until next week. Now, there was reports coming out earlier this week suggesting that basically first party Xbox games, first party Microsoft games, Game Pass games, whatever you want to call it, will actually be going to PlayStation and Nintendo. So originally we heard rumors about this. It was supposed to be Hi-Fi Rush, maybe Sea of Thieves, but then the reports started coming out saying games like Starfield and Indiana Jones might make the jump to PS5. Now we already know this is going to be a big thing because the whole point of a console is to have exclusive games. You know, you look at Sony, you got God of War. You look at Sony, they have Horizon. These are games that you could only get on a PlayStation console. Same thing with Xbox back in the day. You know, it would be Halo, Gears of War, Forza, you know, Perfect Dark, games like that. You know, that's what makes people buy these consoles. You have an intriguing game, and then you go out and you buy the console respectively. Same thing with Nintendo. You got Mario, you got Zelda, Metroid, things like that. So there's a whole big hoopla because you know people invested into the Xbox ecosystem. People are paying for Game Pass. People are paying for Xbox Series X's, and they're paying for controllers and stuff. And some people, you probably only have enough money to buy one console, so you probably went out and brought the Xbox because Game Pass seemed like a good deal, and you know this, that, and the third. And now it's like kind of a smack in the face because you're hearing that these games might potentially go over to the PlayStation. And that's the problem. A lot of people are mad because they're like, well, I could have just brought a PlayStation, got all the PS5 exclusive games, and then whenever, you know, Microsoft wants to drop Halo on the PS5, I'll have it day one, or I'll have it a couple months later, or whatever the case is. But that's the big argument. That's the big talk on the internet. And there's people breaking their Xboxes and then crying. And there's a whole bunch of fanboys. And listen, I have all consoles, so I don't want to sit here and call people fanboys. But I'm going to call them that because, you know, you guys are going hard for a company that doesn't owe you loyalty. Remember, Xbox is a part of Microsoft. Microsoft is one of the most profiting companies of this year, you know, like slightly behind Apple. Okay, they sell goods and services. They sell computers, they sell software, they sell tablets and phones, you know. And the gaming division just became one of the higher, you know, they're making a lot of money with their gaming division, and this is probably from subscription. Okay, now, as if we just sit back and we think about it from a business point of view, they just spent all that money on Bethesda. They spent a lot of money on Activision. Now they're able to get games like Call of Duty and Tony Hawk and, you know, all these good, you know, Activision games. Well, if you have a closed off ecosystem, you can only sell it to but so many people. Okay? And you got to remember, as a business, think about it as if you was a CEO. If you purchase this company, you need to make money back. And two things could be going on. All right, Game Pass is probably not making as much money because remember it's a subscription, so your game sales are gonna be low. They're not tracking purchases of games; they're tracking playtime. You know, tracking downloads. They only care about the subscriptions, you know. And in order to bring those big budget games over day one, it costs a lot of money. Game development is not cheap. And you know, if people are not buying the games, and I'm gonna be honest, I haven't brought, ever since I had Game Pass, I haven't brought like a Xbox first party game in a couple years. You're not gonna get game sales, so you have to look somewhere else. Is this a problem for me? No, because I own all the consoles. I really don't care. You know what I'm saying? I ain't friends with Phil Spencer. I don't feel betrayed. You know, you got Game Pass, you get the games day one, and you know that's it. But now we're hearing reports that originally it was just supposed to be Hi-Fi Rush, Sea of Thieves, and then people started saying Indiana Jones, Starfield, and now Phil Spencer had like a behind the scenes thing where he spoke to people from the team, and he's basically reassuring them that Xbox won't stop making consoles, because that was another thing. A whole bunch of rumors just started coming up out of everywhere, and nobody has the information together. All the reports that we're reading is about from what people are hearing and what people are seeing, and a lot of people that work on the Xbox team are dissatisfied, and a lot of people, it's a whole bunch of stuff going on. And there was rumors that Xbox was going to stop making consoles and just be a subscription only thing, because we had a leak earlier from GameStop with a ad or a banner that said Microsoft Game Pass instead of Xbox Game Pass. So people started thinking like, oh, is Xbox dead? Is it just going to be Microsoft as a game publisher or as a service? And to be honest, I would be fine with that too. You know, it's the same thing. It would just be a different branding, and you know, Phil Spencer already came out and told the team behind the scenes that they are not gonna stop making Xbox consoles. Okay, I believe the consoles, the hardware is something that they need to have and stuff. Will they be making as many consoles? I don't know. Things can always change, and that's the problem with Microsoft. The narrative is always changing, the words is always changing, the movements is always changing. We don't know what the hell is going on. You know what I'm saying? As a consumer, we're kept in the dark, and that's what they're supposed to do. If they've revealed everything, then probably business won't be as good. And this meeting is not a game meeting. It's not a game development meeting. It's basically a business meeting, and this business meeting is gonna basically tell us what the hell they're gonna be doing going forward. And you know, I'm going into this with an open mind. I really don't care, and you guys shouldn't care either, in a way, because it seems like everyone is mad, like they feel like Xbox betrayed them, and I get it. But also, you got to look at it from a business point of view. If they're not making money, or they want to keep making money, you know, think about it like this: Xbox is already losing the hardware race. You know what I'm saying? Like for every Xbox that sold, there's like 3 PlayStation 5s being sold. We already lost that part, okay? And you can't sell games if there's not a lot of people there to buy the games. You get what I'm saying? And if Microsoft does this, a couple things could happen at this meeting that I think is going to happen. There is going to be a chance that it could be an increase of Game Pass and different tiers. There might be the ad version, there might be an expensive version. They got to try to make money, so I could potentially see this going up. Another thing that could happen, which I don't think is going to happen, is they release Game Pass on Sony's platform. That's not going to happen. That's just wishful thinking. And, I think that would be the best option. So that way, the games are not going to Sony. You will have to get the subscription to play the Microsoft games. I think that would be the best solution, but that's not going to happen because Sony has to approve it, which I doubt they're going to do. So that might be out of the question, but that's the best thing. They could probably say it's only on a case-by-case basis, which they said in the past with games like from Bethesda. They said a case-by-case basis. Starfield wasn't an option. I could see Sea of Thieves going. I could see Hi-Fi Rush going. Maybe like smaller games. Maybe a game like Pentiment could go to the Switch. Those are games that I could see. The next option would be that you would have to wait 6 months to a year for the game to go on a platform, which is still good, but then it's still bad because it's like, well, if I have a PlayStation already, I could just wait, or I don't have to buy Game Pass. I could just wait until the game goes on sale on the PlayStation and buy it then. So it could be either one of those. Then there's rumors saying that there's supposed to be a handheld version of a Microsoft console, basically a way you could try to get Game Pass or have access to your games natively. And then I heard rumors about you being able to dock it. That would be cool. And if Microsoft could do that, or announce, well, they probably won't announce it, but insinuate that they're working on some type of hybrid model, I think that could be the piece that pieces everything together. You know, for the person that has a PlayStation, that, you know, hey, you don't want to buy an Xbox, you don't have to spend $500. You could probably spend 300 or 400 bucks and get yourself something that's similar to the Steam Deck in spec. Game Pass comes with it, free trial. You pay your Game Pass, and then you have access to Halo and Gears of War and all of these games, and you can dock it on your TV, and it's an experience. I think that would probably be the best solution because you're not fully committed to a box in your house. You're committed to a handheld, and you can play it outside. And Sony doesn't have a handheld right now. They only have the Portal, which is only good for remote play. I think that would be the ideal solution. Is that the realistic solution? No, probably not. And there's probably people that don't want to buy, another piece of hardware, which is totally fine. But I think that would be the best solution. That's all. That's all I could think of. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. It's crazy. Stay tuned for this event. It should probably be happening next week, and I will probably make a video with any updates. So, drop the comments, likes, subscriptions. I don't know, subscribe. I don't make money from these videos. I just like to talk about games. So if you appreciate everything, if you like what I have to say, if you disagree with what I have to say, that's perfectly fine. Let me know down below. It's Cameraman Poppy. I'm out.